Today's tutorial is part 3 of my box bag series. You can add a long strap like this one, or a short strap like this, or make both and mix and match. This tutorial is for the bag only. I will link to the strap tutorials in the description and the end cards. You will need 91 to 95 meters or 100 to 105 yards of 4mm macrame cord. You will also need 2 D-rings, and if you want you can add a magnetic clasp, but this is optional. And as always, scissors, a ruler or measuring tape, and sticky tape. To save cord on the pattern, use 2 times 460cm cords on the outside, then 2 times 430cm cords, and 2 360cm cords in the center. If that's confusing, just make all 6 cords 460cm. You will waste a little bit of cord, but it will be easier for you. There should be 150cm of cord at the back and the rest at the front. So we start the pattern at the 150cm mark. We start the pattern with the center 2 cords and a double half hitch knot, using the left cord as the filler. Now 2 diagonal double half hitch knots complete the top right side of the pattern. Do the same on the left side. Now take the center 4 cords and tie a square knot. Continue diagonal half hitch knots toward the center. Match the other side. Now join the center cords with a double half hitch knot using the left cord as the filler. We have completed the first full pattern. The second pattern is the same as the first. Complete 7 more patterns for 9 in total. Once you have 9 patterns completed, arrange on the board as shown. Now we can add the remaining cords. Fold each cord in half and attach to the loops with a reverse Larks head knot. Start with the 4 360 centimeter cords and place 2 in each of the 2 center loops. Then the 4 350 centimeter cords, 2 in each loop on either side. then 2 in each loop of the 340 centimeter cords. Finally, the last loops have 1 each of the 320 centimeter cords. Now take the center 4 cords and do a square knot. Do a square knot on either side. Now each row, we alternate the square knots and add 2 cords from each side. So each row has an extra knot. The first row has 3 knots, the second has 4, the third has 5, and so on until the final row in the arch, which has 8. Once the arch is filled in, do 2 more rows of alternate square knots to join the sides. Then do 44 more rows. When you finish all the rows, rearrange your work ready for a row of double half hitch knots. Normally I work left to right, but here I'm starting from the right because the cord on the left is not quite long enough to reach across the row. Now for the side panels, we need 2. For each we need 6 times 120 centimeters. Attach one of the cords to the board and then attach the remaining 5 cords to the center using Larks head knots. Now set aside the outer 3 cords and do a square knot. And we will attach the D-rings to the center cords. Hold the D-ring upright. Bring the left cord to the front and through the ring. Then loop around to the front. Behind the ring. Through the ring, through the loop, and then pull tight. It looks like a lark's head knot. Now do the other cord. From the front, go through, behind, loop around, through the ring, then through the loop, and pull tight. Here we have our bag. I've done the other side. This is what it will look like. Okay. So we're going to put a rolled up towel inside the bag just to make it easier. And we're going to count down from the side. We're right side out, by the way. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on this loop just past the 5th square knot is where we're going to attach. So here's our side panel with that side cord. Go through that loop. And on the other side, have it. Now we'll finish that first row by doing the square knots. So that first row we already did with this one. Might be a bit easier to hold this down. So our next row is going to be the alternate row, so we'll be doing 2 square knots. With the next row of 3, we're going to poke the side cord through that next loop. Do that on both sides. It's going to be this loop here. And then do our row of 3 square knots. one more row of 2 in the alternates. On the next one of 3, again we're going to go through the next loop. Now with this next row, so we've got 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. On the next row, instead of having 2, we're going to have 4, because we're going to add in those 2 80cm cords. And how we do that is we just simply pop it through the next loop that we would have used the outer cord for. And then do the alternate. Same thing on the other side. So take the 80cm cord and use that for the final square knot. Alright, so then we're going to go 3, 4, 3, 4 from now on, and we'll do a few more rows. So keep going, do a few more rows, and I'll be back to tell you how to finish it off. So here we have 11 rows in total. We've got 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3. And we're going to end with a row of 2 so that it's nice and rounded. So that's 12 rows altogether, but the final row is only 2. As you can see, that matches up really nicely. So now we're going to take the towel out and we're going to turn it around to the wrong side. Pull all of those ends through. put that tail back in because it just makes it a lot easier to work with. And so now we're on the wrong side, and we're going to go through, so that's one. We're going to go, every second one is going to go through one of these loops. So one up. So there are going to be a couple through the same loop, so we'll go from the outside, both of the outsides first, and then the insides will be doubled up a little bit. So that's 3 on each side. Oh, we've got one left. So that one goes up. That one can go through the same loop as the other one. That one goes up. That one goes through there. And that one goes up. Is that right? 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. There we go, that's even. Now, where did I start from on this side? That side. Okay, I like to start from the same side on both sides. And so that is the front. So start from the front of the bag. You're going to take those first 2 and they're going to be your filler cords. Then for each, you're going to do a square knot to join them. They go aside. Next 2, same filler cords, and another square knot to secure it. Keep making your way around. The next 2. There's a bit of a gap there, which we don't want. So let's undo that one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that one in this loop to close that hole a little bit more. That's better. Nearly there. Okay, that is fully joined now, and if we pop it back over, push it out a little bit, that is what it's going to look like. And then we just tidy up the cords as previously. So weave them through and cut them off. If you're going to be lining this bag, which I'm going to come out with a lining video sometime soon, let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. So if you are going to be lining it, you probably don't need to weave them through, just cut them off because they'll be covered by the lining. But otherwise weave them through like we did with this. If you have stragglers like this, you can glue them down. Again, if you're going to be lining it, that will be covered by the lining, so don't worry too much. And then that is it. I like to put a leather tag on mine. You can do a short or a long handle. I like the short ones personally, and there'll be a link to the short handles and the long handles at the end of this. But there you go, we're all done. Let me know what you think.